seeing things and feeling things since a young child, like 5 years old. And then, you know, I had really bad hauntings. I had extreme negative hauntings. And so I closed myself down for that when I became a young adult. And then as I got older, and then, like, I had similar where I started discovering my abilities, like, after 3 years ago, too.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just becoming more prominent now.
Mm-hmm.
So we have similar backgrounds.
Right, absolutely. And, you know, I hear similar stories, too. And sometimes, you know, when a lot of people with gifts, or light workers, as I like to call them, when they have similar stories, sometimes as you get older, something traumatic could happen to where you stop seeing or stop hearing, and your gifts, you know, go away for a little while because your body or your mind does not allow you to see those anymore. And I've heard that before. You know, I've heard that happen before from many different people. So that's not uncommon. So what you're explaining is not something I haven't heard before. So it sounds like you had a traumatic incident that made, you know, that go away for you for a little while. And now you're ready to accept those back again. So that makes perfect sense.
Right. Now, let's talk about your scariest thing. Have you ever experienced something really scary?
Oh, yeah, you know, I actually had as a kid. I probably want to say I was about 11 years old, 10, 11 years old. And there was, because I would see, you know, spirits and not so nice spirits sometimes. And I lived in a house in New Jersey. We had moved there from New York, and one night I had gotten up to go to the bathroom, and, you know, as we know our houses, we don't have to turn on the lights. So I got up and went down the hallway. Well, we had a crawl space, and in between the crawl space, or either side of the crawl space, was my parents' room and spare bedroom, and then there was the bathroom. Well, as I was walking down the hallway, I heard a scratching noise and in the ceiling, and I was like, what is that? You know, and here I am walking in the dark. I'm 10 years old, and so I look up, and I see 2 red eyes, and they were petrifying. And so, needless to say, nothing came out of me. Like, I couldn't scream, I couldn't anything. But I did beat feet back to my room, and I never went to the bathroom. And you would think that you know, I would have gone to the bathroom right then and there, but I didn't. I ran back into my room, and under the covers, of course, thinking that those would protect me against everything. But that was probably the scariest moment that I've ever experienced, especially as a child. So, and of course, not soon after that was when my abilities had started to leave me. So, yeah, that was probably one of the scariest moments that I've ever had. It was very, I hate using the word demonic because that's a very scary term for me, but it was very, it wasn't nice. It was very, very scary. The scratching and then looking up and seeing it really petrified me, and I don't think that's a memory that I'll ever lose. So, yeah, that's probably the most scary. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Kathy, I know you have done some investigations. Can you tell us and I know you work with a team, can you tell us some of the places you investigated public, of course?
Yes. The name of our team is Paranormal, and we one of the places we've gone is to Cherryvale in New York,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is a fantastic place. If anybody ever gets a chance to go out there, there is a lot of very haunted places. I think the whole town is haunted, actually.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about South Onondaga? You're talking about Route 20.
Right. Yeah, sure, yes. Yep. Cherry Valley, New York is about 2 hours past Herkimer, a little past Herkimer, Toniana. Okay. Yeah, out that way. It's a small town. It's and part of the history of it is that the Revolutionary War came in and totally destroyed the whole town. So, and then they had to rebuild it. But I mean, almost every single place in this town is very haunted. So one of my good friends was out there, and so we went out there and we investigated the old Catholic school that's out there. And yeah, Catholic school says it all right there. And so it's no longer, housed for students or anything. I think actually one part of it does. There's a new part of it, and I'm not really sure whether they have like a nursery school or anything, but the old part of it is very haunted. There's activity all the time in the school. During one of our investigations there, the basement of this school is extremely active, and I am more prone to feeling negative energy on investigation than anything, and that's even with people too. I can pick up on negative energy very easily. So as we were going downstairs, and there is 5 of us, actually 6 of us on the team, and we were going downstairs, and I hit just about the bottom stair, and I looked up, and I could feel just all this negative energy, and I turned to everybody and said, I am so sorry, but I can't go any further, and I booked back upstairs. And I had to take a moment because it really overwhelmed me. There was just a lot of stuff that had happened in that place. So for whatever reason, I couldn't move forward. But that was one particular place that we've investigated that is amazing. It has just so much activity in it. And the other investigators had snapped some pictures at that same time, and I had actually captured something that I still can't even look at, a picture that I still can't even look at. It was that scary for me. So, yeah, that's actually, that was a very good investigation for us, so. Yeah. But if you ever get a chance, Tammy, to go out there with your team, definitely let me know, and I will hook you up with a historian out there. She's really great.
Great. Yeah. Now, when you come across negative energy, do you? Because this is what I do. I have investigated the 1890 house, and the man is very angry there. The man is very angry. He's not a nice guy. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I walk in there, I have to go out and ground myself because the energy is so overwhelming there. Now, do you do any type of grounding when you're feeling really strong negative energy?
What I usually get, some call it grounding. I call it protective, light surrounding myself. Kind of the same thing. I envision the white light around me, warm, bright light, just so that I make sure I'm protected. That anything, grabbing a hold of me or deciding it wants to come with me. And that's usually how I do it. I usually do that before any investigation, though, or any place that I go, because I need to make sure that I am taking, precautions and that I'm protecting myself and I'm not bringing it home or around anybody else. And definitely not picking up anything negative. So, yeah, what I find, though, when I go into places that have, negative energy like that, especially confined, like houses, things like that. I find that the negative spirits run from me.
Yes.
It's kind of an odd thing because they feel like I want to make them leave, or try to get rid of them, which normally I'm not, unless, they're invading someone's home and the people don't want them there. So, but that's what I do as far as grounding myself.
And do you get rid of the spirits too if they're bad and the client wants them out?
If the people that I'm doing a house and there's people that live there, if they want them gone, I will usually include the owners of the house in the getting rid of the spirit.
Okay.
Because it's their home, and I believe that because it's their home, that they need to be involved in it in order to make it more powerful and more, more for them, the spirit, to understand that it's their home and that they should, leave and that they need to go, towards heaven or, to where they need to go. So I guide the people that live there as to what they need to do to let the spirit go.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's really important for everybody to be involved.
That is, I never thought of it. That's an amazing concept. That is a good idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it's not my domain, so I feel I've done that. I've done that quite a few times for people, and it seems to work very well.
Usually, I usually call in, another person, but sometimes, we investigated the Hinsdale house, and we offered, there's Native Americans on the land there, and we offered them tobacco as a peace offering,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So I've done that before.
Oh, right. Well, I'm also a minister, too, so I know that sometimes that helps, depending on whether, I have to do a prayer or... my guys usually tell me where I need to go with something to make sure that it's not dangerous or that everybody's protected when we're doing it. So, and then after we'll do a house blessing so that everything gets cleared out. Yeah, so it's it's a process to make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah. Now, can you talk about your scariest place you've ever been? What is the scariest place you've ever been?
Well, let's see. Well, definitely the one in Cherry Valley was one of the scariest places. There was another place also that our team goes to. I really can't mention the name of it.
Okay.
But, there was an incident that our team had experienced in this place, and now that it's over, we completely laugh about it. But and I'm sure you've had some similar situations where you can laugh about things after they've happened.
Yeah.
But we had one very, very scary situation. And this was, I'm a firm believer that you don't bring talking dolls onto a ghost investigation because talking dolls never lead to anything good. So, so I'm, the girls, well, before we went, I could hear the spirits talking, and there happened to be children there, and they were telling me that, they wanted to play. So I said, all right, guys, if you have any toys or whatever, bring them because, they they'd be interested in playing with toys,
Right.
So one of the girls brought a talking doll. And I looked at her, right, and I looked at her and go, why on earth would you bring a talking doll to a ghost investigation? You know? So, right, so I'm like, okay, this is kind of crazy. So we're standing upstairs, and let's see, there's 5 of us, and all of us are girls. And now, these 4 girls, they've done their investigations before and everything, and this is my first rodeo, you know.
Right.
So, in this place, the windows are huge, and the ledges are very big, so, like, 2 people can sit in these ledges. So we're upstairs, and Jeanette, one of the investigators, brings out the doll, and she says, oh, look at this doll, you know, it's so funny, blah, 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 and it's everything, and my son's 21, so I have no idea, you know, what these things do anymore. So, and everybody's laughing. They're like, oh, yeah, this is very funny. I'm like, no, it's not funny. Don't turn it on. Don't nothing. There's no reason to bring a talking doll to this thing. I don't want to hear it. Says, no, it's really funny. So she presses it, and it starts doing, I mean, that is very creepy. Just turn off the stupid talking doll. So the next thing you know, we hear a big slam, and this gust of wind or noise came rushing at us. And we all scream, and 2 of us, Jeanette and I, end up in the windowsill, and everybody is behind the skinniest investigator, Sharon, and she's like petrified wood. And we're all standing behind her, and we're all, like, just petrified. And so we're like, what the heck just happened? So, of course, we're all laughing about it, but Jeanette and I are sitting in the windowsill, and I'm cuddling her like she's a baby. So, it you know, now we all laugh about it, but as soon as that all stopped, the stupid doll went off again. And I was like, oh, my God, get rid of the doll. I couldn't, like, and so we all went downstairs, and we're laughing about it and everything. Boy, did I have a bruise across my butt from that windowsill for, like, a month. And Jeanette had a bruise, and it was just like, wow. And it was pretty scary. But, you know, and this is, you're going to find this very funny about me, but if I see ghosts with a physical eye, I'm scared. They scare me. Because I see things with third eye and third ear. I don't see them physically. So, yes, I'm afraid of ghosts. So, there you have it, a psychic medium who's afraid of ghosts.
Now, Kathy, I have a question. If someone has abilities and they don't know who their spirit guide is yet, how do you find out? Will the spirit guide eventually show up, or do you continue to ask to be shown your spirit guide?
What I usually suggest to people, because I do get this question a lot, is I tell people that they should meditate. And meditation doesn't come easily. You know, it's definitely something that has to be learned. It's definitely something that you have to, perfect. You have to keep on doing it. While you're in meditation is when you should ask to find your spirit guides, to find out who your spirit guides are, and to ask their names. That is the best way that I know how to do it, other than seeking out a psychic medium that can tell you who your spirit guides are. I'm not a psychic medium who generally can tell people who their spirit guides are, but there's others, psychics that can do that. Like, we all have our special, gifts that we can do this, that, or the other thing. But I always tell people, if you really, want to find out, meditation is really a great form of relaxation. That's also finding out what your gifts are, who your guides are, things like that. That's where you're going to find the names out. But it is definitely something you got to continue to do and practice. So,
okay.
Yep.
We have 4 minutes left, so can you tell our listeners how they can reach you, and if they want a reading by you and things like that, how to contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my cell phone number and my business line is 315-575-7089. And my website address is www.purple, the letter N, and butterflies, and that's FLIES.com.
Okay.
And, or you can email me at treeoflife1972.com. I'm sorry, at yahoo.com. Be helpful to know that. So those are the best ways to contact me. I also have Facebook, so under Psychic Medium, Kathy Brown. So there's many ways to get a hold of me. You can't miss me, really.
And are you going to go to any psychic fairs coming up where people can show and see you?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been at the Renaissance Festival. I'm down at the so I'm going to be there for the next 2 weekends. So please come down and see me if you get a chance, if you're at the Renaissance Festival. So I'm going to be there. Actually, let's see. Don't really have a lot of events coming up, but one of the big ones that does come up in Saratoga Springs is going to be October the 4th and October the 19th at Beardsley Castle in Falls. Yeah, so that's an awesome one there. So if anybody can catch that one, Beardsley Castle is a great castle. You can have dinner there, a couple 9 yards. So, yep, absolutely.
That is great. I'm going to Lizzie Borden at the end of this month. Do you think Lizzie did it? Because I don't think she did it.
You know, I don't think so either. To be honest with you, I really don't. No, I really don't think she did.
No, you don't either. I think she was set up by a relative.
I'm on board with you on that one. I don't think he was strong enough to be whacking people 40 times. So that I can't even pick up an axe, and do something 40 times with it. Really, seriously. She was a skinny little mini. Seriously, come on. They didn't have all this forensic and stuff back then. So, no, I really don't think she did it. I think she was set up.
All right. Because I get that feeling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm with you. All
right, Kathy, I want to thank you for coming on, and I want to thank my listeners. Everyone, good night. Bye.
Thank you so much, Tammy. Bye now.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.